Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I'm sorry to seem so happy. Obviously, I think we have to kind of touch on it very briefly, but Queen Elizabeth II passed away today, which is obviously something incredibly sad. Not going to dwell on it too much. James and I aren't obviously experts on the monarchy or anything, but obviously it's incredibly sad. It may also affect football this weekend as well. Speaking of football, James and I are going to just go through our predictions as per usual. So James, last week I was 5-5, you were 4-6. The only game where we kind of differed and we made the difference on Man United Arsenal. I managed to call the Man United win. You kind of had that one down as a draw. Obviously, we know that game, especially some of the decisions were a little bit contentious as well. But that puts me overall at 29-31. James, you are 25-35. So just saying, bit of a 4-game gap here. You got to catch up eventually here.
Oh, also, Jack, I feel like we need to mention, Jack, that West Ham game. I predicted a draw for that, and they should have got a draw, Jack, which is like another one that I've been screwed over again.
Guys, it's fine margins for real. But anyway, without any further ado, James, with a teensy bit of work to do to try and catch me up here, it can all change in 1 week. First of all, and just to let people know the way we're going to do this, because James is a little bit elsewhere. You can see he's in different surroundings, currently on holiday at the moment. I'm going to go first to give James a little bit of a chance to think about the game and what he might do. So anytime that James copies me, we just have to give him the benefit of the doubt where I don't think he's really copying me, okay? First off, 12:30 Saturday, if it goes ahead, Fulham at home against Chelsea. I've got the game as 1 goal for Fulham, 3 goals for Chelsea. I think Graham Potter, people are going to be looking to impress. And as much as Marco Silva and Fulham have been good, I just think Chelsea, a remotivated, reinvigorated Chelsea, are going to be too much for them. James, what have you got? Fulham against Chelsea.
Again, Mitrovic has been on a crazy scoring spree. That honeymoon period, once a coach comes in, especially once the Chelsea coach teams come in, it's always like this big little spurt. So I'm gonna say 2-0 2-0 Chelsea, 2-0 Chelsea.
Nice, I like it. Moving on to the South Coast, we got Bournemouth against Brighton. These big, feisty South Coast rivalries. They're super tame. But yeah, Bournemouth, obviously Brighton's first game without Graham Potter. Bournemouth, obviously not the most recent game, but they'll still, I'm sure, be thinking about that 9-0 drubbing against Liverpool. For me, I think the loss of Graham Potter is really, really big for Brighton. I really do. I think that he was able to make chicken salad out of chicken you-know-what. And again, he was able to get more from less with that squad and that team. Supposedly, Adam Lallana is going to be like player manager. I think I read from maybe the Daily Telegraph. So again, I don't know if I can trust it too much. But again, this Bournemouth team are not the type of team to take advantage of it. So I got this game as 2-2. I got this one as a draw. James, what have you got? Bournemouth against Brighton.
Well, 2 teams who both lost their manager in recent weeks, to be fair. But Brighton this year have been fantastic. Like, to me, what they've been able to do. Bournemouth is a team that we've spoken about, probably relegation favourites. I'm going to say Brighton can get something out of it. Not something, I think everything out of it. Let's go 2-1 Brighton.
2-1 Brighton, I like it. Staying again on the South Coast, Southampton, my local team, bringing Brentford to town though. James, Thomas Frank and Brentford, I just think are a better football team than Southampton, whether that's in St Mary's or whether that's at the Brentford Community Stadium. So with that in mind, I think the better team in this situation, Brentford 2-1 for me. Who have you got? Southampton at home against Brentford.
I'm going to say Southampton 2-1 win to Southampton. The thing about Southampton is, Jack, we mentioned how the relegation candidates and all that sort of stuff there. There's something about Southampton that I just can't put my finger on. They haven't been invested, and they've also lost a lot of players. But for some weird reason, Jack, they always seem to find a way to get the job done. Right. So I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Brighton. I mean, not Southampton.
Southampton, yep, I got it in there. No, look, James, I respect it. And again, I'm a little scared of that one, I can't lie. Liverpool at Anfield after that drubbing against Napoli. Again, James, I'm happy we picked Napoli, right, for our Champions League groups. They do look pretty good. But yeah, Liverpool at home, Anfield, Wolves coming to town. Obviously, the big shame, Sasa Kaljic with that ACL injury, that's a real shame. We thought he was going to be the real spearhead of that attack. Doesn't look like an incoming Diego Costa is going to have his work permit sorted out in time. So again, to me, it's just a toothless Wolves attack again. Liverpool at home against Anfield with a point to prove after that Napoli game. 3-1 Liverpool for me. James, who have you got? Liverpool against Wolves?
I think again Liverpool must. I like to think that there's going to be a reaction, and maybe with somebody like Melo coming in, will obviously inject stuff. I seen Thiago was back. Maybe that will be a change, but I was going to say 1-0. But let's go for Liverpool. We'll have a reaction. Let's go 3-0 Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool, I like it. That was the only other scoreline I really thought of as well. Leicester City Strugglesville at the moment for them. They're at home against Aston Villa, who obviously just came off that draw with Manchester City. I think this Leicester City team are going to struggle until Brendan Rodgers leaves or until a bunch of that squad changes. So to me, I'm going to go with Villa on this one. Don't feel super confident about it. I was tempted to go for a draw, but I just think Villa will be able to kind of feast on the dwindling hopes and aspirations of Leicester City. So 2-1 to Villa for me in that one. James, who have you got? Leicester City against Villa.
Again, two teams, if I'm being truthfully honest, overall been struggling. Villa, yes, I guess they were able to get that fantastic draw against Man City, but again, this season hasn't been great for them. Leicester, we all know the problems there, Jack. I'm going to say 1-0.
1-1. Yeah, that was something I was thinking about as well. Moving on, kind of a bigger game of the week here. Man City, the evening game on Saturday. Man City at home against Spurs. Look, I think Man City are the better team. I think Man City are at home. I think all things point to Man City winning this game. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, though. I think Antonio Conte, this Spurs team, and again, those attackers, I just get the sense that like all they're going to need is one. I don't think Spurs are going to deserve a point out of the game. I don't think Spurs are going to deserve a win out of the game. I think they'll deserve to lose the game, but I think they'll leave the game with a point. So to me, I'm going Man City 1, Spurs 1. Who have you got in that one, James?
This seems to be the story of Tottenham season. Haven't really played well, but always grinding out a result. In the majority of the time, it's a positive result. You look at the game against Marseille, for instance, where, kind of struggling, get the red card there, and obviously that helps them go on to win the game with like 2 late goals from Richarlison. You look at the record against Man City, Jack. Last season, they were able to do the double against them away and White Hart Lane. They have a great record against Manchester City, a team that history says that Pep really struggles against, but I think that they'll be able to get the job done today against Tottenham. Let me go 3-1 Man City. 3-1
Man City, I like it. Another big game, well, historically, I guess maybe a bigger game than usual, maybe not so much at the moment. Arsenal welcoming Everton to the Emirates. 3-1 Arsenal. I think back to winning ways for Arsenal. Again, yeah, Everton team are struggling and whatnot, but I think Arsenal will have a point to prove after the Manchester United game, and I think they will be back to winning ways. Maybe a goal or two for Gabriel Jesus, and again, I think it's Strugglesville again for Frank Lampard and Everton. So 3-1 for me. James, who have you got? Your guys against Everton?
I do think that this is going to be a quite tough game for Arsenal from the point of view of Everton. They're quite difficult teams to break down. If I'm being truthfully honest, I think when teams can stifle Arsenal, they struggle. But throughout this season, we've seen Arsenal find a way to win, especially when teams have been able to stifle them, especially against Villa and Fulham. But I'm going to say, let's go 2-1 Arsenal. We bounce back and we stay top of the table. Wink, wink.
Next up, moving to East London, West Ham welcoming Newcastle to town. It's not been looking good for West Ham at the moment. But the thing is, I just refuse to believe that David Moyes as a manager is going to let this continue. We can't ignore Lucas Paqueta coming to town as well. What a talent he is. Again, Gianluca Scamacca, I think we're still waiting for him to put a string of games together as well to see what they have in him. Mikel Antonio obviously still there. Newcastle as well. Again, they seem to be kind of draw specialists at the moment. They're not winning many games. They're not losing many games, but we're like 6 game weeks in and they've drawn 4 games. So again, I see that continuing. I've got West Ham 1-1 welcoming Newcastle to town. So James, who have you got? West Ham versus Newcastle.
Again, you mentioned how Newcastle are draw specialists. I mean, maybe that might lean me towards that, but I think West Ham season needs to kick off sometime soon, and I think that it's going to be like obviously there's the game against Chelsea. The decision that went on wasn't great for them. Hopefully they'll get a bit of luck. So I'm going to say West Ham.
One more time, mate. You broke up a little there. What was the score there?
I'm going to say that 2-0 West Ham.
2-0 to West Ham, I like it. Okay. Moving on to kind of the latter or the last of the 2 Sunday games, Crystal Palace versus Manchester United. Again, I know this will sound kind of ridiculous. I think Palace could win this game. I think this could be a draw. And I think Man United could also win this game. So it's really kind of whatever your flavour is going into this game. I think that's what Palace are capable of. I think that's what Manchester United are capable of. I'm going to go on the basis that for whatever reason, this kind of Premier League run, they just lost to Real Sociedad in the Europa League, but I think this Premier League run will continue. Again, I don't think it will be deserving. I think it will be tight. I don't think it will be convincing. But some way, somehow, I've got Crystal Palace losing. It's going to be 1 for Crystal Palace, 2 for Manchester United. Who have you got in that one, James?
I'm going to say Manchester United. Haven't been crazy convincing, but they're getting results. And to me, at this moment of Manchester United, it's confidence. You know, they want to breed as much confidence as they can possibly do. Palace is not an easy place to go. If Palace turn Manchester United over 3-0, I will not be surprised.
Right.
But I'm going to say Manchester United 2-1 win.
Manchester United 2-1 win. Yeah, look, I'm with you all the way on that. Final game of the game week, Leeds United at
Actually, Jack, let me change that to a 1-0 win to Manchester United.
1-0 win, I like it. Okay. Leeds United, final game of the week, I should say. Leeds United at home against Nottingham Forest. I think this would be kind of a mad one. Leeds seem to be conceding a lot of goals. They're also scoring a good amount of goals as well. So with Nottingham Forest as well, I really don't know what you're going to get. The squad turnover there, I don't really know what kind of an identity Nottingham Forest have. I've still got them kind of facing the drop come the end of the year. To me, Leeds 3-2. This might be kind of the pick of the games this week. I think we'll see 5 goals, 3 to Leeds, 2 to Nottingham Forest. James, who have you got Leeds against Nottingham Forest?
The last time I remember picking Nottingham Forest game was the Tottenham game, and I was expecting just chaos. And to be fair, we did get that in the game. I think it'll be an open game with chances going either way. I'm going to sit on the fence here, Jack, and go 1-0.
Nice, I like it. Well, James, just so you're aware, we differ in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games this week. So it's in there. The 4 games you need to catch me up, it's in there. It's potentially there. First of all, I just want to say, enjoy your holiday. Sorry for interrupting it, even though it was 4 predictions. How's it all going?
It's good. You know, I'll be back soon, guys. Next week, you know, back to normal routine. Loads of videos coming out. I promise you guys, we'll be back soon.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video, usual stuff. Hit subscribe if you're not already. Do scroll down and check just in case the algorithm's doing all the work for you. And apart from that, me and James will see you next time.